Welcome to Swing Trade WhatsApp. My name is Kumar Osok. Today is 20th of January 2026. And before we start, the disclaimer is that I am not a SEBI registered advisor, and before any investment, please consult your financial advisor. Rules stay the same. Most importantly, the focus should be in Nifty 500 at this moment where the sensitivity is too high. Staying in Nifty 500 will probably save your portfolio to a certain extent. You might have already been realizing it at this moment. Then, how was the market? It was all red, no doubt. It was red all over the place, all across the place. But damage was quite minimal because before it damages more, I have left or I have closed my positions in many of the small caps. That is why today my correction is quite minimal. Uh, that C8 stuff that it shows is basically uh, it shows the correction, but actually it is not because towards the end I bought that. It's a issue with the Google portfolio manager. But I would say there was not a huge correction compared to what actually happened to overall market. Now, what I did, so I bought Nifty Bs a small amount again because I'm averaging because when I see Nifty is really correcting, it's a good time to average small amounts to accumulate because today Nifty 50 corrected around 400 points. So during that time only I felt it is the best time to buy a bit. Then energy stocks. I feel energy long term it will be a great option to have. So energy ETF, I bought a small quantity. Similarly, I bought a small quantity in Motilal Oswal Defense Index or ETF. Why? Because defense today doesn't look so promising, but like the situation going on in the all over the world, defense will do well once the sentiment gets better. If you know, today we had one. I mean, UAE. UAE is going to have some kind of speculation coming that UAE and India will have kind of a pact towards defense or something. But maybe I'm speculating. But this kind of tie-ups will for sure will happen. Now, when this kind of small grouping will happen, because now nobody trusts big countries, so everyone will try to safeguard their own interest with a small backup or something like that with their vicinity. So in that situation, they now what will happen? UAE definitely support India to strengthen the defense industry so that whenever required, they can at least access to their local market and at least do basic level of surveillance, basic level of threat handling and all that. Especially in many different sectors, actually, we need the defense pact. So considering that, I felt because there is a good correction going on, I'm buying ETF in small quantities. Then I did a bit of bottom fishing, which at this moment is very harmful because we don't know how further the stocks are going to crash. But I felt CET result was good, so that is where I am taking small portion. Then Fortis I felt it's a best hedge during the uncertain markets because medicals, hospitals, where the population is 1.4 billion people, they are definitely in long run hospital stocks will do well if their management is good and if their numbers are coming good. So I felt Fortis in a good correction already in a bottom out situation. Buying a small portion is not going to be too harmful, so I took a position. Then loss booking, yeah, I felt yesterday I was too optimistic about LTI Mindtree, but today I saw as soon as I saw it is correcting another 3%, so I thought enough is enough and I exited to not to increase my loss. Then I did a bit of hedging. I sold a put of 25,000 for the June. Basically option I sold. That we'll discuss in the next page. And as usual, my port looks also, sorry, portfolio looks very red. Then what is the food for the thought? So today everybody's mind would be how to hedge our portfolio when market is crashing so in a dramatic way. What are the options we have to safeguard our portfolio? So with that, for that, I am saying that whenever there is a terrible situation happening like this, you see which direction market is crashing, and you have to ask a question. For example, today's situation, you have to ask a question yourself that can market correct to 24,000? If yes, Then you ask again, if the market can correct to Nifty 50 basically can correct to 23,000. If say no, it cannot go 23,000 in 3 months to 6 months of time, then sell a put of 23,000, because market is already correcting and it's already have losing 400 points. That means the premium is already getting higher. So put one option for a long term, like 6 months or 3 months at least, because we are long term investors. So this is also a kind of long term hedging. We do not do short term trading. And then once you put that one, swing will be there. Someday you will see 5,000 loss, someday you will see 2,000 profit, someday you will see 10,000 loss. But you have to hold it tight. As long as you do not get a good portion of profit like 15, 20,000, you have to hold for 6 months, because that's your hedging strategy. You have to hold because you have to wait for those calendar days, like budget session has to pass, then 31st March has to pass on, because these are the days where the dangers are there. As soon as the March 31st happens, people will sell, resize their portfolio, all the mutual fund people will do all that. So all this after passes through, then from April 15 onwards, market gets better. It gets a new fresh health actually. So during that time, if you see your options are having a good premium to book, then book there. So that is one option to hedge. Second is, like as yesterday I also mentioned, that buy foreign ETFs, basically basically where they are ETFs in terms of dollars or ringgit, sorry, or yuan or RMB in Chinese yuan. So if that way, what is happening, that it is giving you a bit of comfort, uh, because they are big markets, and then at this moment they are showing quite resilience. So putting, let's say, 15% of your portfolio into foreign ETFs is not a bad idea. Then average your Nifty 50 index in small amount. So what is the idea? Idea is that, like a saying, right? Humans age, and stock indexes always they go up, right? Why? Because of inflation and because of aging. So inflation basically will do what? Uh, will push the economy to every year to 4 to 6%. Because of that, without even doing anything, our economy will increase, our GDP will increase by 4 5% without doing anything, because inflation will increase our everybody's price, and you do transaction for basic survival, because 1.4 billion people are there, and then your GDP is increasing actually. Okay, in that way, if you average your Nifty 50 index, and specifically why Nifty 50, because if you really observe, government of India will take care of the Nifty 50 compared to any other index. Why? Because it is exposed to the foreign market, so it gives a message to the international investors that Indian market is not that dull. Second is all our pension funds, all our NPS, so many instruments we have, they have exposure, LIC, all they have exposure to the equity market also, and mostly to the large caps, and government, I mean public sector stocks. So if they significantly gets corrected, then entire system will be in ruin situation. I mean, people will start to blame the government. So that is why they have to save the index, you know. So that is the reason, when this kind of situation comes, averaging the index a bit will give you a bit of cushion. The next is diverting your fund to the international mutual funds, like fund of funds. They are actually in the same account itself, with same broker itself. You can buy, like PGIM Global Equity Opportunity Fund. I saw that's a interesting idea. Why? Because I'm not recommending anything. It's just an interesting idea that they look through all over the world, the best developed countries world, where they see not only from US, from any different places like France, like Canada, anywhere they see a interesting company, they create a group of companies, and then they have created a fund of fund. So this will give a good hedge to the dollar. So that is why, looking into that option is may not be a bad idea. There are many funds, like let's say DSP value fund, where some portion like 25 to 30% they do foreign exposure, then rest 60 to 65 to 70 they do Indian exposure, large caps. Also is a good balancing hedge. So that also you can look at. Money market funds, basically, if you have a huge amount of cash, but then you are not able to, you have no confidence that should you deploy everything now or wait for more opportunity, then put them in money market fund rather than the bank FD. Why? Because money market fund, only when how much you need, that much you pull out, and that much tax only you pay, and the punishment is very less. But in FD and all, they will cut your interest benefits. Actually, if they have committed 6% interest to give, if you prematurely withdraw the money, maybe it will reduce to 5%. So that you will be punished. So that is why money market funds are a good option basically in this kind of situations. And then bank FD, obviously bank FD, if you are making small duration FDs like 1 month, 3 months, or 15 days FDs, then you see which one is getting mature earlier or which one is later. Then based upon that, you break it and then use it during any opportunity comes. So these are the ways. I also do my all portfolio handling with this kind of, everywhere I have put small small investments, so that when there is a crisis like this, I look at the other areas and feel that at least those are protecting me. I'm not on the road. Okay. So same situation also you can think about. I'm not saying that exactly you do this. There are many other ways, many smart investors in the industry. Also you can observe, but which one suits you the best, which one you understand the best, based upon your investing advisors, consult your technical advisor, and based upon that take the decision. This is just for education purpose, because people even do not know. There are a lot of people in this industry, they do investing trading, but they do not know the underlying fundamentals actually. This could be just a education for those people, but if you are a smart guy, then obviously you know what is best for you. With that, I would say thank you very much for your time. Please like, subscribe, and motivate me by sharing it with others. And with that, I thank you for your time.